Hey everyone out there. Hey, what's up? It's LouLou Love. Looking a little rough. I don't care. This is real. This is real life. I have just struggled my whole life trying to figure out how to be happy. I used to say like I was born grieving for a life that a home I didn't even know where it was. But my spiritual side, my soul is older. My soul is old because I feel things that people don't feel. I feel pain. I can feel other people's emotions. I need time to myself a lot. Even though that I struggle with depression, still, I'm on medication for it. I've talked to counselors. I have a chemical imbalance that is real, but I'm also, excuse me, I am just a very empathetic person and I know what it's like. I'm sad. I don't even like to go into public places anymore. There's too much energy and most of it's negative. I do not watch television anymore. Um, I loved Forensic Files, CSI, all of those shows. I can't watch them anymore. The negativity, even from that, is so sensitive. My soul, my mind, my body is so sensitive to those things. I cannot let those things come into my life. If you don't have positivity to bring me, I cannot allow you to be part of my life any longer. Um, as far as like my children, I'm getting married in September, and I have no reason right now to be depressed. But yet I feel pain inside. Going to the store, if I see a child and he's crying or she's crying, and I can tell the parent is struggling, or maybe I can tell they're under the influence, or the child's not clean, or probably like they're taken proper care of. I'm sad. That makes me so sad. Um, Today is a day I'm trying to take to start, more of my meditation and music therapy, I call it, listening to happy music. I seem to listen to a lot of, Linkin Park, Jelly Roll, um, Evanescence, uh, Slipknot, a lot of the heavy stuff, but a lot of those types of bands, they're awesome, but if you're not in a good state of mind, it's not going to uplift you. So I've started trying to find happy music. I got a record player recently. It's a new record player. It's not like one of the old type record players, but I'm going to listen to some music on that today. And just kind of take my time. I'm going to, you know, uh, do self care first today. I'm going to, clip my toenails, paint them, put some lotion on my feet. I'm going to take a bath first and just, try not to let my worries take over. Take a nice warm bath, paint my fingernails because they're like all chipped. Um, I've been scratching them off, whatever you want to call it. And I look, pretty rough right now. But this is what, when people wake up, I mean, some days I look gorgeous, but some days I don't. And I do have the autoimmune disorder. So my doctor started me back on a steroid, but it doesn't do what it does to other people for me. He put me back on a water pill and a steroid, hydrocortisone, 2.5 milligrams, and spironolactone 100 milligrams. And that should actually decrease my inflammation. I do have celiac disease, which a lot of people who have that are thin, But because I have this other disorder, my body is in the fight or flight response all the time. I'm not able to digest food, or my metabolism is 95 years old. As far as I don't eat a lot of food. I try to eat small amounts here and there of like protein and stuff, and it doesn't matter. I'll put weight on or I'll drastically lose weight, one or the other. My body doesn't have the chemical, the cortisol, it doesn't have enough of it during stressful times. And people don't understand that. And then I have a son that's 5 years old that has complex post traumatic stress disorder. Most of you may know that because we did come home on movie night to find his father passed away in his sleep, and I had worked a 12-hour shift. So we dealt with that. We moved to a new home in October of 2020, and his father had passed away in August the 13th of 2018. So we lived in that home, and that's most of the time where I made my videos before. I've been unable to dedicate myself to making motivational videos daily like I want to because I struggle. I know there's people out there struggling too. So like maybe I wish I could do, I don't have enough subscribers right now to do like live. I don't care about about money or how many people I have. I just want to reach one person and let you know you're not alone, but you have to fight those feelings. I told my fiance, Matt, I said if you feel any sadness or if you feel depressed or if you feel overwhelmed or you have any desire to use any kind of substances, because he lived in sober living, and he's been clean and sober for just at 2 years, 2 weeks short of 2 years. So I'm very proud of him. But I tell them to think of fun things like, of course, God, our creator, we do have a spiritual connection to a greater force and to each other. And, He made us. I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. So I'm not going to go into that right now because our beliefs may differ. But this year's been terrible for it is just it has it has split people from political. Like if I said I was one side or another, it would offend people, or the smallest things offend people. If you're wearing a mask, if you're not wearing a mask, that's your business. And that is your freedom that we have currently right now. And you need to appreciate it. You need to talk to someone. Because, like, when I feel this way, like, I'm just sitting here on the floor, of my new home, and my parents helped me get. And I never had like a silver spoon in my mouth or anything. They worked their butts off their whole life so they could help me. And basically, I've worked hard for my whole life since I could work, since I was 15. I think I just turned 16 maybe when I started working. And I've worked the majority of it. I was off for 10 months after my son's father passed away. And that same year, well, I had broke my leg. So that was a rough year. But I mean, right now, currently in my life, I don't have the stress that someone would have that would be depressed. I have things to do. I have save the date invitations to make. I have plenty of things I could do. Music to listen to. I need to do my dishes. I get myself upbeat. I could go visit my grandma. I need to think about other things. Don't think about the negative. Don't think about yourself in a negative light. Like, think about, cute baby animals. How can you be sad if you're thinking about holding a cute baby goat? they're so innocent and they're just, it sounds weird, but which I am weird, but don't sit and reflect so much on yourself. Realize what your problems and strengths are. Make yourself a list if you need to, of a goal. I know as far as like the 12-step program, I've never actually went through all the steps for the 12 steps program, but I do have the beginnings of going through it. Here with me. The 12 steps. It works how and why. The 12 steps and 12 traditions of Narcotics Anonymous. And I mean, they basically, it's the same thing as like, alcohol, any kind of substance that you rely on to be happy. I borrowed these from my fiance, and I'm actually going to work the steps, and that's going to help me not stay sober. Well, it will help me stay sober. I've been sober for a long time, but have I used other things to make me happy that are substances? Have I misused prescription medicine? If you're doing any of those things, then like, are we really sober? Are people really sober that do that? I mean, I guess we all rely on something. You need your morning coffee fix, or I love Diet Pepsi. So I'm going to work through these steps and try to help with as far as depression and being more, having a more meaningful, happy life, being able to contribute to others, and more simplistic. So more live simple, not have so many concerns. And social media is one, which that's the only way I have to communicate to other people out there in a large amount. Social media is a lot of the problem, I believe. People feel, sometimes I get this like wild streak in my, like a feeling like there's an empty hole or something. Like I feel like, oh my God, like that's when I used to go out to the bar and go drink. I felt like I needed something to like, my cup was empty and I needed it filled. I'm not even talking alcohol. I'm talking like metaphorically. And I still get that sometimes, but I slow myself down. Finding my fiance was a blessing. He did have a traumatic brain injury, and, he's working through his recovery process as well, dealing with, depression and things. He does have a really wonderful support group, and I must say, I don't know all of them well yet, but I hope to, because people that have overcome addictions or are working on overcoming addictions, they're the strongest people. You guys are brave soldiers. Like, I mean, I am an alcoholic. And so I do understand, that I've been sober for 6 years from alcohol. Do I still say 6 years if one time I drank? I don't know where in that 6 years that lies, but basically my youngest child changed that because he was unexpected. I have one getting ready to turn 15, and he's 6'3", and then I have a 5-year-old with issues, or I'm unable to put him in school right now, and this the only support I have for him before I met my fiance was my parents, and they're getting older. My mom's still working, so it's really hard to juggle all these things, but there is a balance and it can be achieved. I'm also a suicide attempt survivor. I attempted suicide in 2013. I was in ICU for a couple of days. And then I had to go stay in a psychiatric unit for a week roughly. I was so depressed at that time though. Like my chemicals were messed up even because you can tell like I mean if it runs in the family and you're feeling depressed, you're probably not going to be able to have um unless you have the best support group and you just have a very optimistic outlook, you're probably going to need some kind of medical professional help, medication to level out your meds, or your hormones, I'm sorry, your chemicals. With me, I have adrenal hyperplasia, which is totally not related to mental illness per se, but the symptoms of it are because it makes all of your chemicals and hormones just go crazy. So my thyroid, my pituitary gland. So my face is swollen today. Some days I can look like a different person, and my eyes change color too. Like I have not a lick of makeup on. See, I already feel better because I talked to my phone in my room. Isn't that crazy though? We have to come up with better coping skills and how to be better people. Like do something, find a hobby that you really love. I don't care how silly it is. If you like to um get clay, just try something. Like if you don't think you're artistic, oh, I won't want to do that. Try it. Buy some modeling clay at Walmart and just see what you can come up with, or paint maybe, or maybe you can play music and maybe you should focus on that, or design clothes, even draw, write in a journal. But focus, give yourself time too. Sometimes it's not always about other people, what they think about you doesn't really matter. Your loved ones and your children, it does. Like, I do want my children to look up to me and think I'm a good role model. I want to help my children be able to live happy lives, and my stepchildren as well. As far as I'm concerned, they're all my children, but not biologically. Two of them are biologically. So, with that said, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on some self care, and I'm going to come back to you today and let you know if I'm feeling any better or not. Much love to you. Stay strong out there. It's a hard world. It's cruel. It's cold. We don't know why things happen. It doesn't seem fair, but we have to get through it. All right. Much love.